Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Dan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon. Where I talk about the movies and whatnot, of course, obviously. So yeah, so for today's video, I just want to do something real quick and whatnot. So I just felt like I should just discuss this because I've seen this talked about quite a few times.
Yeah, just because of the fact I keep coming across articles like this over and over and over again. Guess what? Just because you're triggered over something doesn't mean you're in the right. You have to talk about facts. Oh boy. And just, of course, these social justice wars and whatnot keep complaining about, you know, being oppressed, even though these same individuals, these feminazis, are being oppressed of themselves. And just complain about some made up problem that doesn't even exist in the first place. Yeah, that keeps happening again and again.
Originally, I didn't want to do this really because I've already stated about how I feel about remakes. So in some extent, I feel like I'm really
So yeah, they actually announced that they want to do another one, a sequel. Oh boy. Well, the first one made a lot of money. Well, the first remake of this anyway made a lot of money. So of course they would.
repeat myself in some ways. That Mr. Monkey, what are you doing? I'm trying to have a discussion here. Go away. Yeah, over there. Yeah, over there. Over there. Anyway, from what I heard is that they may actually do a sequel to this. I hope they don't, but they say they might. Anyway, but chances are that since it made a lot of money,
Yeah, in the live action version, they were really trying to have the genie and Aladdin have some sort of chemistry as best friends. But since the dialogue and whatnot is so badly written, I really did not get a sense of that like at all.
of course I'm referring to a movie I've already reviewed, and it's a terrible film. Of course I'm talking about the remake for Aladdin. What a terrible film this was. I reviewed it a while back.
Princess Jasmine was actually living pretty much the high life, really, when you think about it, because she was the top of society.
And I was hoping to never speak of this film again. Because, like I said, first of all, it's a remake. And I don't like remakes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The original film is fine the way it was. The original Aladdin is often considered to be one of the best films ever made. And,
And how was this an upgrade exactly? In which way? How? Oh boy.
yeah. Even though the sequels were very good, really. I know they made a TV series a while back, but I never saw it really. That's only because of the fact that I'm not really a TV show person. I like to stick to reviewing movies, really. Not that I haven't talked about shows before, but I'm just more of a movie person. Okay, that's besides the point. But the fact that
If they really wanted to show that a woman can do whatever she wants, well, they didn't convey that message at all.
I keep hearing again, a lot of people would say that the live action remake of Aladdin is considered as a feminist movement, like a pro woman kind of a movie. I don't take this the wrong way. That in itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. But what bugs me is the motivation behind it. I know Disney had often been considered as a sexist thing when in reality it really wasn't.
I mean, was her father making fun of her? Did she have any nephews, uncles, anybody that didn't take her seriously? So they didn't express that whatsoever, like at all.
A lot of people just claimed that it was. So if anything, this film was remade just to fix a problem.
Like literally nowhere in the film, no man has ever said that they want to control women or whatever. Nowhere in the movie displayed any kind of hatred towards women, like at all. Because the thing is that, like we're saying, she lives pretty comfortably in her castle and whatnot. So there's like literally no oppression that she has to fight against. Like, at all. Ever.
That never existed in the first place. When they say sexism, they're referring to the company itself and Walt Disney when he was alive. Which, of course, is a complete lie because he had hired a bunch of women for the inking, the coloring, doing quite a few tasks.
The film itself could have had Genie and Aladdin having the wrong perception of what women should do and what not. Like these old fashioned ideas, like how a lot of the pastors, these churches have these sexist ideas of what a woman can and can't do. And then they could have had Aladdin and Genie just learn the errors of their ways and just learn that women can do whatever they want, just like men can. But no, that film never addresses that in any kind of way. Oh boy.
Which at the time women were not allowed to do. So he gave employment to women even though he wasn't supposed to, but he did it anyway. So calling him sexist was complete bogus anyway, along with the company. Yes, I know they said the same thing about all the princess movies being supposedly sexist, being because somehow looking feminine.
Yeah, you realize that there are plenty of things that are better off in animation. It does not translate well into live action. There's plenty of things you can do better that way. Just come off like the script was really bad when you think about it. It does not justify its existence. It just came off just because the original film was popular. Oh yeah, let's remake it. I mean, it did make a lot of money, sure, like I said earlier. So it worked in that case, I guess. Whatever.
And being a princess and being graceful and being all womanly is somehow in itself sexist. That's nonsense. Being a princess.
Like, she never really had a point to prove, I guess, at least in regards of it being equal to men, having equality and whatnot. It's not like having some sort of religious nut job that was trying to attack her in some kind of way. Not some random stranger off the street somewhere that was like trying to gather people to fight against the princess because she's a woman. That was never brought up. Nothing like that whatsoever. So having women to be equal to men, have women having equality. Oh yeah, women can achieve whatever they want and achieve their dreams and whatnot. That was never addressed in the film in any shape or form, like at all.
Was actually a part of the government, which means it gave Princess Jasmine some sort of authority. Which, when you think about it, she actually disobeyed her father on a number of occasions in the original film. And for the remake, I guess they were trying to really focus on that angle of the character, her being a really fiery woman. I'm independent, I'm strong, and all that. But again, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. But these kinds of character traits was already in the original film. It was already there. Uh, Mr. Monkey, the narrator to go away. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, like I was saying, folks. Uh, but anyway, yeah, like I said, when you think about this, like I said, the sequels to the original film weren't very good anyway. And from what I heard, they might do another one, another live action film. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna go. So we're gonna have another Aladdin 2. So does this mean we're gonna have two Aladdin 2s? This is confusing. So, but anyway, it's not even needed anyway when you think about it. I know Will Smith was casted as the genie, and he looked weird. He looked really weird as the genie. As far as I'm concerned, Genie was always Robert Williams, and he was always will be the genie. As far as I'm concerned, that's him. I mean, granted, I know. I'm not trying. Okay, don't take this the wrong way either. I'm not trying to take ownership of the character. The character does not belong to me. Disney can do whatever they want with the character. Okay, let's make that perfectly clear. They can do whatever they want with the character. If they want Genie to be a dragon, if they want a Genie to be, I don't know, a pumpkin, I guess, they could. Or a cow that makes magical milk. They can if they want to. It's their character. I'm not trying to take ownership of any character, matter of fact. But anyway, so I was saying the film was needless anyway. It was completely and utterly needless. I mean, it made a lot of money, sure, but it just makes me wonder what was the whole point anyway. Okay, I don't know what the point was. Okay, I shouldn't be asking that because the point was, like I was mentioned earlier, was just to erase a problem that wasn't even there to begin with, like at all, whatsoever. But so evidently, it's like this imagined problem that they projected onto the original animated film, and Disney was just trying to fix it. If I had to criticize Disney for anything, I would get mad at Disney for caving in. Okay? Yes, before anyone says anything, I know sexism exists, which yes, even to this very day, there's still bigotry, which yes, bigotry needs to be dealt with. It should. But you can't fix bigotry by playing right into its hands. That's not how you do it. If you want to fix bigotry and fight against it, fine, go ahead. But this is not the way to do it. But let me sure have diversity, sure have that. But having it there of its own sake is not a good thing. Even the character of Aladdin is not an interesting character. I mean, yes, this entire movie is basically the original film, but stretched out. What I'm getting at, it's the Beauty and Beast remake all over again. Because the Aladdin movie has the same problem as with that movie. Eh, Mr. Monkey. But since you won't listen, yeah, stay here. Okay, since you won't listen, there you go. Anyway, so like I was saying, folks, let me wrap things up.
You realize just because a lot of women out there have screamed sexism doesn't mean it's actually there.
Because I don't want this video to go on too long. But this film, the Aladdin remake, has the same problem as some of the other remakes I've watched over the years, like Beauty and the Beast one, because it has way too many things going on.
Does she like ever end any violence based on somebody's gender? Nope.
Yeah, it's like the genie has a plot line, the uh, Jasmine has a plot line, somebody's mother has a plot line, uh, somebody's arm has a plot line, this person has a plot line, that has a plot.
Since Princess Jasmine is a princess, this tells you she has something to do with the government. That alone means she has some sort of big influence. Okay, maybe not as much as a queen or king, but still an influence of some kind. This means she could have maybe have rights, help the rights for women to do whatever they want with their bodies, so men can't try to grab hold of control them. Like for example, reproductive rights for one, so that men, at least in this kingdom, won't look at women as nothing more than just baby factories. Okay, if they want to have a bunch of babies, that can happen, but only because they want to. Men and women have to agree on that. Both genders will have to agree on that subject right there, not one forcing the other. So that's something that could have been done here.
It feels like there's like 50 different subplots going on.
Like, okay, even if you want to argue that, oh, there's no way a man can understand what the woman experiences. Well, this film doesn't try to help men understand either, so it's not doing that right either.
In other words, it feels overly stuffed. Why does everything need to have a subplot? I don't know.
Also, I can say the pacing was really bad, though. I mean, the sets and costume look pretty nice, I can say that. But you can make this, dress it up all you want, but I got bored after a while.
I mean, having a female character is fun. Even have a pro-woman thing. Go ahead. But it kind of contradicts itself in some ways. It steps on its own foot because here's the weird part.
But the character development that this movie had, that also felt rushed. Even the plot itself.
Princess Jasmine, she's not being oppressed. Matter of fact, nobody is ever being oppressed. Ever. So how?
So you're telling me that there aren't any women who are maybe, let's say, making inventions like special cars, more advanced armor for soldiers, just literally any kind of inventions, like something for the household. You mean to tell me that there aren't any women that's doing this? Princess Jasmine could help those women out.
I mean, yes, there's other ways you're gonna have like a pro-woman approach, of course.
Never once in the film that Princess Jasmine could have, invested some time in the feminist movement or feminist leadership and could have had Aladdin help out with that as well. So, get some extra assistance or something.
Being discriminated against is not the only way to do it, sure.
Oh boy, this just was not a good movie. And it was soulless. It didn't need to be made. It just felt like it was just made because people liked the characters from the animated movie and that's it.
And I don't know, maybe introducing women.
What about the fact that Princess Jasmine could have had women as security, put women in the heart of the action, and the helm of peace, security, and humanitarian kind of a thing?
Another way, maybe more opportunities for women.
And since she is the princess, she could have women and young people have a profound understanding of the kingdom's peace and security situation, and the whole idea of gender and power relations, the humanitarian needs, because they live in this reality that any day now maybe fighting can break out. Can she ensure that peace can be between nations and stuff?
I want to having more, or maybe more job employments for women, making women be a part of the military or the navy.
And again, she's a princess, right? She has a lot of influence, so could have easily used that to her advantage.
Stuff like this. But here's the thing.
And this is supposed to be part of a large kingdom, right? But I never got a sense of that whatsoever. Again, I keep on saying, it just came off like this was just made just a cash grab, nothing more than a cash in, just nostalgia. I'm not gonna go too much into nostalgia because I've already spoken about how I dislike nostalgia because it's pretty bad. I really look.
It's never brought up in the movie. The movie itself, for being a feminist movie,
Yeah, this movie was just made out of nostalgia. Nothing more. That's it. You can't convince me otherwise.
it never shows like any kind of way that a woman could do whatever. If a woman can do anything she wants,
This entire movie felt like it was just spectacle. Yep, nothing but spectacle and no real substance.
why isn't there any opportunities for to do anything?
It's like the movie was trying to say something somehow, some way, but failed to do so.
A woman wants to do. Like I said, it's basically the same movie all over again with the.
Yes, I do realize that people are gonna be telling me that, oh yeah, I should just judge this movie on its own merits and not compare it to the original film so much. But that's stupid. That's a stupid thing to argue right there because, again, this is a remake of the original. So, I mean, that's not the only reason, of course. It's also bad writing. Some of the CGI needs some work. The story itself needed more charm. You needed more energy. It seems like a great lack of it, really. And but it should be its own thing. They could have easily had this film just be another sequel to the original. Just ignore part two and part three, and just be a direct sequel to the original. Or, matter of fact, better yet, do a whole other princess story. Do a whole other princess movie. It just comes off like it's no substance just all style. Like I was saying earlier, that's how this movie comes off. That's it. This entire movie just seems lazy and whatnot. So the film doesn't bring anything new to the table. It just feels like some generic adventure movie and whatnot. There's no tension, really. It doesn't feel suspenseful in any kind of shape or form. The comedy, if you want to call it that, was painful to look at some points. So yeah, I don't know. It's just the entire thing didn't work whatsoever. The music's not memorable, which is kind of odd because it's supposed to be a Disney movie. So if anything, this movie is just a big mess. Of course, it just feels artificial, very very artificial. There's no real heart, really, like at all. It's very dreadful. This was definitely a very dreadful movie. Oh boy. And the list just goes on and on. I don't keep complaining about this movie and whatnot, but yeah, this video is already long enough as it is. I mean, there's plenty of other things I want to bring up. I mean, a lot more. There's plenty of other flaws that this movie really weighs it down, like the fact that this exists for one. But still, I'm not gonna go into every little thing, obviously, because it's like we're saying, this video is already long enough as it is. And of course, I do appreciate it, but anybody for watching this, this is just a disaster. It did not need to happen.
Animated film, but stretched. A bunch of other stuff going on. Okay, point being, this is called a feminist film.
And since a lot of people want a princess that survived cancer, like she ended up losing her hair, we could have had Princess Jasmine have like some sort of I don't know, treatment center or something, some clinic that will help women that went through this kind of a thing. Another missed opportunity.
But it never really expresses how women can be strong as well, just like men can. It doesn't express that whatsoever. Does it go against traditions? No. Does it go against what's expected of a woman to do? No. It doesn't express what it's supposed to be. It doesn't make any sense. Christ. Alright, that'll be it, folks. I appreciate everybody watching. So it's just me just complaining again, I guess. I don't like remakes. I never will. Thanks for watching, folks. So, whatever. If this is supposed to be a feminist movie, it did a poor job at it, is what I'm getting at. Whatever. Thanks for watching, folks. See ya.